every time the weekend comes, yeah. I know that it won't be long, yeah, till you're gonna call my phone, yeah. You be like, babe, come over. I know how this goes, yeah. Talk about you need closure. Too many missed calls, too many texts. Damn, I wish I missed my ex. Greetings. Simon here with another guitar lesson. Just this morning I found this song. I was just on YouTube and I was just looking around. And I had seen a performance by Jacob Collier the other day when he had this new singer on, some girl called Mahalia, and I didn't know who she was, but then I looked her up and I found this song and I was like, this song is really cool. So okay, I thought I'd just make a quick, simple little guitar lesson on this, even though it's funny. This is a really cool song. Just it's kind of got a nice mix of some sort of sophisticated elements, but also some nice simple kind of pop elements, which I find really appealing. But it's got a real kind of late 90s R&B vibe, but it's it's also quite repetitive though. So it's got some kind of interesting, complicated chords. But the nice thing about it is it's quite repetitive. Once you learn the chord progression, you kind of just play it over and over. So I think it's a type of thing you could teach to like a beginner student or someone who's just starting out on guitar. And one of those things, it's kind of nice. Kind of makes you, one of those little parts kind of makes you feel like you kind of, you know what you're doing, type of thing. So anyway, okay, let's jump into it. Okay, I'm going to give you a close up of the fretboard and I'm going to show you the chords. Hey guys, so there's a main kind of like 4-chord progression, which is the main kind of progression throughout the song. It does loop, and then also I think they do sort of change it up. Every now and then they kind of like reharmonize one of the chords, and they kind of play around with the arrangement a lot. So there's a lot of different kind of like keyboards and stuff coming in now. But the main backing of it, anyway, is this 4-chord progression, right? Which it's a little bit tricky, but it's not too hard. So it's kind of it's a good one to do. Okay, so it goes like this. We're starting off with a C major 7, right? We're gonna get a lot of these nice jazzy kind of 7 chords here, right? And this is how you get that kind of soulful gospel sound, right? Is by using 7 chords. So this is the first one here. It's called a C major 7. Okay, so that goes from the A string down, 3, 5, 4, 5. Okay, this is a very important chord. If you want to play like R&B or soul or gospel music, you got to learn this chord. This is like, you're going to be seeing this one a lot. Okay, so I do that with one stab, boom. Then I get a very kind of a more unusual chord. Here we have a diminished chord, right? So the diminished chord is always the chord which we teach students, like kind of early on. You teach them about diminished chord and then you never use it. So it's good. This is an example where we're using our diminished chord. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so this one, this is a D sharp diminished chord. Okay, so we've got from the A string down, 6, 7, 5, 7. Okay, that's our second chord. Okay, D sharp diminished. Okay, yeah. So let's just go back over that. We've got C major 7. Then we've got D sharp diminished. Right. So boom, boom. Then got 2 more chords. Right. So then up here we've got this one, an E minor 7. Bit more of a kind of common chord, right? Again, it's a 7 chord. So in like gospel, soul music, like usually all the chords are usually turned into 7 chords. So here we go again. We got our, from the A string down, it's going to be 7, 9, 7, 8. That's what we call an E minor 7 chord. Okay, okay, boom, and then this one. Boom. That's a D minor 7 chord. Okay, and that goes from the A string down. 5, 7, 5, 6. Yeah. Okay. So those two chord progressions, or those two chords, are kind of easy to play one after the other, because once you get this chord shape here for the E minor 7, all you gotta do is just bring the whole shape down 2 frets. Then you got your D minor 7. Okay. So sweet. So that's it. It's just those 4 chords just repeated throughout the song, right? So let's put them all together. We go. Chaka, da, chaka, chaka. Okay, little bonus little bit there. If you want to do a nice little, that's a nice little kind of soul kind of lick there. When you're holding your D minor 7 chord, use your baby finger to do some hammer-ons and pull-offs on the 8th fret. Okay, ba da da. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. That's the chord progression. Okay guys, so really quickly I'm gonna give you the chords for this song also on piano. So okay, I'll show you how I will play these chords. Okay, so so we're starting off with a C, again with the C major 7 chord, and I'm playing this like C, B, E, G. Okay, then we get to our second chord, which on the guitar I was doing it as like a D sharp diminished, but on the piano I'm actually doing it as a B dominant 7 chord. Okay, now B dominant 7 and a D diminished, they're almost the same chord. They're very similar. There's only one note difference between them. Any kind of dominant 7 chord, sometimes you can substitute it out for a diminished chord and they work. So in this instance, I'm kind of doing that in reverse. So I'm substituting a dominant 7 for the diminished chord. It's just because of the voice leading here, I just feel it just kind of feels more natural here. But they both, even though you're kind of maybe slightly sort of playing the wrong chord, you're also not. So we're all good. We're all still in a really good place. So okay, the second chord is a B7, right? So that's a B, A, D sharp, F sharp. Then we got a E minor 7, and I'm playing that like E, D, G, B, and then we got a D minor 7, right? Same chord shape. We just move it down we just move it down like one step, right? So just like those 2 chords on the guitar, you just take the one shape and you just move it down 2 frets. That's a whole step. So that's the same thing right here. Okay, so we're getting to a D minor 7 chord, and that's a D, C, F, and A. Okay, and that's it. That's the 4 chords. Okay, all together: C major 7, B dominant 7, and then an E minor 7, D minor 7. So again, so. Okay, on the piano, this would be a great tune to work on improvising, because you can just take this. I mean, you can start off by playing the chords, and then if you just play the bass line, real simple bass line, okay, then you can just solo over that, you know. So if you're just a beginner, just use a minor pentatonic just to get started with, maybe a blues scale. If you're a bit more sophisticated, you can start getting into using some modes, maybe playing through the chords type of thing, hitting chord tones. But you know, you can just go, you know. just something like that, right? So, okay, right. This is a really, really great song. Nice one to get the new, nice to get the new school year started off with some good tunes. I might also make another video on this, on kind of some of the deeper kind of music theory ideas behind it. So stay tuned for that. Okay, great stuff. Thanks, guys.